What's up, everyone? It's Gabby Trades here, and welcome back to the channel. Well, bulls and bears are trapped at the moment, so what is next? So you guys, before we get rolling for today, you know what to do. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new here, welcome, and hit the small bell notification so you never miss a live breakdown here with me. Good morning. Let's see who's here. We have Nikhil, Rose McLaren, and then we have Trevor, Ross, again, KTT. Good morning, everyone. Say hi in the chat box. Let's hope that everything is it's okay this week. Let's adjust this mic a little bit. Morning. Oh, Kuhn is here today. Haven't seen you in a while, mate. How are you? I'm good, thanks you guys. I'm good. We're gonna jump straight into it because we have a few things to talk about. So make sure to restart the chat box. Let me know if all is good. Stanimir on the back end, can you check if X is fine, if YouTube is fine, so we can go ahead and talk about what's currently happening. Okay, so looking at this, actually we had stocks rally on Friday, right? So even though we had them rallying on a Friday, 21st of November, the mood under the surface, you guys, is still very ugly. As you can see, the fear and greed index in the stock, you know, in the crypto market, everything is in extreme fear. We're sitting around 12 at the moment. Earlier this morning we were 11, so we even dipped into like single digits intraday, which was crazy. So that's literally equivalent of you know, the people just hiding, right? Everyone is hiding. People are hiding under their desk and they're very fearful. So when the sentiment is this bad, really two things can happen, right? We're saying that he's seeing the rate cuts in the near term. So of course markets are going to take that as a green light, and of course the risk assets popped immediately. Why? Because we know that when we get the rate cuts, cheaper borrowing, that's good for us, supportive for stocks, you know, and if inflation is cooling, you know, the economy is not you know, falling apart, it's all not too bad, right? So that's bullish for stocks, bullish for crypto, like we said, for the moment, because that means that the liquidity expectations are rising. Problem with the stream, we're freezing. Okay, well, I guess we're just gonna have to go with it. I don't know. It's working, not working, not working. I don't know. Honestly, you guys, we're just gonna go ahead with it. Now working. Thank you, Kud. Yeah, so you know, this is the situation, right? But if the cuts still happen, but the economy is breaking, right, that could later become bearish as well. So we need to be aware of all these things. Okay, everything is back to normal. Good. Another important thing that it's important to know is also Japan, right? What is Japan? Well, they're the biggest foreign buyer of US treasuries, right? So, you know, at the moment in their country, the yields are rising and their bond market is really becoming attractive at home, right? So what does that mean? Well, that means that Japan could slow treasuries buying from the US, and if less foreign buyers buy US bonds, the US must, you know, naturally offer higher yields to attract new buyers. So if we get the higher yields, though, we know what that means. That is going to mean that it's going to be more expensive in terms of mortgages, more expensive in terms of loans, and of course that is going to have impact on the economy. It's going to slow it down, and of course that's going to pressure stocks. So of course it's bearish. It's always going to be bearish for the stocks if the yields are rising, if they spike. So what is it bullish for? So what can we look out for here? Well, we're going to be looking at the USDT JPY, that's the FX pair, and volatility. So the yen really is going to matter here, so we're going to be following that very closely. Good morning, Bart. Good morning, everyone. All right, let me continue letting me know in the chat box how are we doing in terms of signal or whatever. Okay. All right. So we have a lot of FUDs in regards to MicroStrategy. They're basically having a huge outflow risk at the moment because they are potentially going to be removed. Their index is going to be removed potentially, not for sure, in January, right? So that's really MSCI. They're consulting on a new criteria, right? And they're reviewing whether to remove MicroStrategy, or not only whether to remove any digital asset treasury company, to be more precise, like MicroStrategy, from major indexes. So that decision is expected to come on the 15th of January. And, you know, analysts are estimating some huge amounts, like in the billions, you guys, like minimum 3 to like 9 billion plus, which is going to essentially be forced passive selling if the index are removed, right? Because what happens is, if the index funds must sell MicroStrategy automatically, that is, you know, going to mean immediate supply hitting the market regardless of fundamentals, right? So obviously it's going to be bearish for MicroStrategy, and similar for any proxy Bitcoin equities. Okay, I personally don't know how much MicroStrategy owns in terms of Bitcoin. Some people saying that they own like 70%, you know, that they're exposed 70% in Bitcoin, which is, you know, to me, it's crazy. I don't have that information, and I don't know if that is true. If anyone in the chat box knows, let me know. But to me, that's crazy if that's true. But anyway, so the point is, if Bitcoin keeps dumping the way it is, this is going to become a bigger you know, overhang into January. So what are we going to watch for? The yields, I think, are going to be a good you know, signal for that. So the 10-year, the 2-year you know, spread is going to be good to watch. And obviously, like we said, USDT JPY, I think, is going to be important as, you know, as early signals that we need to watch for. But again, it's been a lot of FUD lately in the markets. And yeah, it's honestly, it's been possibly the worst bull run ever, right? But there will be signs, and there will be and we will be watching for that. All good on my end. Voice is stuttering, picture is okay. Honestly, you guys, I don't know. So we're gonna go ahead and move straight into it. By the way, you guys, for everyone that's new here, just remember that we have the Black Friday sale right now on the My Trading Indicators, right? So you can get 30 days free, right? So you get a 30-day free trial on the trading indicators. Link is in the description box. Get it now, because it's going to be only for the Black Friday week, and then everything is going to be back to normal. But now you have the chance to test them if you were wondering if you want to do that before. It was actually crazy because TradingView changed their policies, and I had to react really fast on the weekend to sort that out, but it's all done now, you guys. So we're all good. We're all good. Okay, so yeah, you know, NAS, we were prepared for that bounce down here from support 23,965. So I don't know what to tell you. I mean, the levels matter. The levels matter. Fundamentals matter, but the levels matter more, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and start with Bitcoin. Good morning. Let's go ahead and start with Bitcoin, okay? So first of all right, we had some levels. The dump was unforgiving for Bitcoin. We were looking at these relatively equal lows to be grabbed, and then to find potential support down here. It is unbelievable to me that we're trading above true year open. So that means we've retraced all of the gains that we made on Bitcoin from the start of the financial year. This is insane. So, but anyway, that's where we are, right? That's where we are at the moment. It's a massive bearish reaction, bearish continuation from here. So what can we do from now on? So first of all, did we bounce from an area of interest? Well, yes and no. Yes and no. On a higher time frame, absolutely 100%. You can argue that we have this entire candle as an area of interest. So anywhere between 78,000 to around what are we looking at here? 88K. That's an area of interest on a higher time frame. And to be fair with you, when the market's been so bearish as it is right now, you would want to be looking on a higher time frame. So that would mean at least daily, on a weekly or a weekly time frame for confirmations to do anything on Bitcoin, right? For time frame is not going to work. 1 hour time frames, I'm telling you from now, right? I'm telling you from now. You can see things on the lower time frames. Yes, you can, right? 4 hour, potentially 1 hour. Like if I look at the 1 hour right now, it looks great, right? it looks really good. The 1 hour time frame looks absolutely fine, and it's potentially showing me that price could rally up to 90, 98, 99k Bitcoin. That's on a one hour time frame. But after a dump like that, even if we rally up to 99k, what is that going to create if that happens, right? And if we get a rejection, well, that's just going to simply mean another lower high. So yeah, as part of the bearish distribution, we just need to be aware of that, right? We're still trading in November, and we will be trading in November until 7th of December. I want you guys to understand that, because that's how I trade. 8th of December, that'll be Monday. Correct. So, we're still over here, and we're still bearishly distributing from the 3-month open at 104.6. So, in a dreamy world, in a dreamy case scenario, what we could see is potentially for price bouncing up and retesting the 3-month open, but that's higher time frame analysis. Let's have a look and see what's happening down here. First of all, we broke our last line of defense at 89k, right? We didn't respect absolutely anything on a daily time frame. We're just respecting very high time frame levels. And to be honest, if we apply the range model theory, right? If we apply the range model theory on a higher time frame, okay, we can see that we're sort of protecting levels, right? Because what is 0.236 according to the range model theory? You guys go ahead and get the course, because you have 40% off. You can get it for $200 right now. You get it for $200 lifetime. It's not a monthly subscription, right? Not to mention all the amazing reviews that we've had on the course. Everyone is absolutely loving it. So go ahead and grab it, because you're going to learn all these models. But the point is, 0.236 is always going to be a buy level, right? So we're trying to protect that level. Look at how precisely we're trying to close above that level. I'm not coming up with these things. I did come up with this range model theory because I've seen it, happening. I've back tested it for years, you guys. So, for me, this is going to be a major important level. So is Bitcoin right now at a major important level? Yes, it is. Did we face massive liquidation weeks here on the weekly time frame? Yes, we did. We have liquidated absolutely everyone that we could potentially liquidate. All right. So now bulls are trapped, right? So anyone that's long that's at supported 89k trapped, anyone that's long that 100k trapped, right? So the thing is, right, and if you are like even a bear right now shorting here these levels down here, you are currently trapped. So this is the current situation that we're finding ourselves in on Bitcoin. Does it look good on the 4-hour time frame? Well, not really, to be honest. The 4-hour time frame, maybe, but not really, right? Not really. Even the 4-hour is not going to look good until price closes above 93k Bitcoin. All right. So this is a clean chart here for you guys. Just letting you know, right? Are we in an area for a bounce? Absolutely. Have we traded on a daily time frame deeper? Absolutely, we have. Does that mean we can drop down and retest 78.2? Absolutely, is still on the table, right? It could happen. And don't forget, this week we have data, right? We have core PPI, we have retail sales, unemployment claim, preliminary GDP, core PCE. These are still tentative. I want to put your attention to that on Wednesday, so we don't even know if we're going to get that. But so far it's scheduled, right? It's scheduled, and let's see what happens with the rest of the data. So we do have some data coming in this week that could push the market, right? So it's Monday. I don't trade on Monday. I need to wait to see how the week is going to develop. So the Monday trading day is going to develop. For now, we have a very tight Asian range to work with. So that means, that we're potentially going to extend coming into the New York session, whether to the upside, retest 89k, maybe reject it, come back down. Are we going to find a higher low? All of these things are possible to happen today on a Monday, right? I'm not looking to do anything today. So what I want to do is I want to see how the price action develops today. And range model theory people with my course, they know exactly what to do soon as Tuesday morning comes, right? And I will also know exactly what to do. But overall, yes, overall, it should be bullish, right? It should have some sort of a bounce, but it all depends on the price action. So I'm taking it really day by day, you guys. You can't do much more than that at this point, because essentially you're still bearish, right? Like, in order for the trend to break, some people are saying, hey, we need to break 107. No, you don't need to break 107 for the trend to reverse. You actually need to break with a weekly close above 115k. This is where we are at the moment, right? You actually have to break above 115k with a weekly candle to confirm. All right, does that make sense? Yeah, you guys are welcome. Yeah, the indicators are the best. Go grab them, guys. You have 30 days free, right? You have 30 days free over here. You just need to pick that option. That's 30 days free for you guys on my trading indicators that I use. All these daily supports, resistances, all of the liquidation levels I get using that indicator. So I've never given 30 days free. This is the first time, and we've had it running for over a year now. So yeah. What else for Bitcoin did I want to mention? Yeah. So these moves over here, they're not supported by a lot of volume. I just want to make that clear. Okay. So we maybe on a lower time frame you can see some patterns, but like on a higher time frame, it's not entirely there yet. Okay. So be prepared that it could be a case of of a choppy price action today, where you make a high and you make potentially a higher low. That's possible, right? And if everything goes to hell, honestly, to me, last area of interest that I'll be looking for longs is going to come at around 78,200, 78,300, 78,200. That is going to be the true year open retest for me. So that's where I'm going to be looking again for Bitcoin to do something. For now, not yet, right? Let's see what happens tomorrow, but not yet. Okay. Ethereum looks very bad. I don't like how it looks at all. I mean, we've reached very important levels of interest. Again, range model theory, they understand that, and why that means you have 40% off, you guys, on this. Again, I'm saying, but it's a structured, easy to follow course. You guys should absolutely go on it while you can. So, we understand why this area is very important, and we're sort of trying to come above daily support at 2,800, but we're not really doing that. So I'm not really fond of that at the moment. On a daily time frame, I might get interested above 3,100. For now, not really, right? For now, not really. They could even rally this to 2,900, which they almost did, and they haven't even tapped. They made like a relatively equal two highs over here, and then they're just rejecting at the moment here for the day, but they can bring it to 2,900, send it back lower. Honestly, ETH, you guys, from here on, you could expect this asset to drop lower, right? You could expect it to retest 2,300. You could expect it to retest 2,100, and even the 2,000 levels down here. Very, very possible, right? Hopefully it's going to show a little bit of strength finally, because we were getting some bullish divergences earlier here, and then everything just went to hell. So nothing holds on ETH, right? Nothing holds. The only thing that looks good is ETH BTC, because as you can see, this was our range up here above 0.03187. So I'm kind of like happy that this is happening, and I'm looking forward for that to continue to hold. And then in a case scenario of ETH BTC 0.03187, we lose that level. In case we lose that level, then we're gonna start looking at 0.03050, right, and 0.03 in general. These kind of levels down here for ETH BTC. But when I look at alts, you guys, yes, I do. When I look at alts, let's look at Sol real quick. Sol was kind of strong. Now it's dumping even more than everything else. Sol on a weekly time frame, I just want to guys, remind you what happened up here, right? You know, end of September. End of September, we developed this, and I was like, is this for real, right? This is the liquidity formations that you're going to get with the trading indicators. So once you form that kind of structure, the triangular liquidity formation on a weekly time frame, that is no joke, right? And we've discussed that several, you know, for a couple months now, and it's very, very dangerous, right? And it still is on the table. So there is really, you know, I don't want to say it, but like 94.7 is definitely on the table for Sol over here. Are they trying to bring it up? Is this level right now that they're retesting important? Well, clearly, look at how many rejections we've had from that level. And then we had, again, retest of the buy zone, very, very deep, with clearing of all this liquidity to the left side. And that's when we rallied to make a lower high, which essentially made this low weak, right? So that's a weak low. That's a liquidation level at 94, 95 approximately. Solana. So, you know, it's definitely on the table right now. The way it's looking, it's clearly on the table. Can we have a bounce from here? Well, totally, right? We've seen it before. We've seen it before, like 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 times, you know, to rally, to make a high, and then we traded deeper into the buy zone over here. So I'm definitely watching that level for Sol. Yes, you guys, make sure to hit the like button. I don't know how many likes do we have at the moment. Let's have a look together, all of us. I'm going to give you a little check here. Okay, so we need at least 45 likes. Okay, so we need double likes. 45 likes on I'm gonna help you with 1 like, which is for my own. I always like my own stuff, you know. Makes me feel better. Again, make sure to check the exclusive bonuses that we have with Pionex and Bluffin. Today for Bluffin is the last day that when you deposit, you get 10% bonus cash back. So you deposit, you get deposit to receive 10% trading bonus cash back. You can find the link in the description box for that. You know that I love Bluffin. It's the only one I trade futures with. And then you have Pionex, where you can open the future grids. You have stackable bonuses, $50 if you do KYC to and deposit bonuses. Depending on your net deposit, you're going to get a future grids bonus, and then you get a trading reward if you open a grid bot with $100 or more, which is pretty awesome. All of these are in the description box down here for you guys. But again, like the video because I want to see these likes exploding, right? So these are the deals. Like I said, 10% bonus cashback on Bluffin. It's honestly the best trading you know, exchange for me. I don't trust anything else. All right, so this is Sol. We need to be aware that 94 is a current draw. It's a current draw on liquidity, which is horrible, but it is what it is. You know, they broke it for us. They really broke it for us. USDT, very important. What do we focus on? What was that on a weekly time frame over here? Do you guys remember? Same thing that we saw on a weekly time frame for Sol, but kind of like in reverse formation here for USDT dominance, right? Now, so we've taken that liquidity. That was the first thing I was looking for to happen. While everyone else is trying to do something, I was like, no, we need to wait for that. We need to wait for that. So now that that's happened, my second level of interest was up here. This is what we're looking at the moment. Did we trade into that level? Absolutely 100%. But what is happening right now? Our weekly SR flip is literally at 6.24, and right now we're treating it as support. Is that good? I don't think so, right? That's definitely not good. In order for us to thank you, as usual, great insights. Kun, really appreciate you guys. Yeah, make sure to share the video. Like if you're live on Twitter, make sure to share the video on Twitter. If you are live on YouTube, make sure to share it somewhere else. And yeah, you know, so that's what's happening right now with USDT. dominance, which was important for us to note. And you know what, if we continuously fail, honestly, it doesn't look very good. It doesn't look very good, but eventually the failure needs to happen because we have work to do. We have work to do, you know, from very, very long time ago. Or at least bring it back. At least bring it back and retest the levels from last year, December. Like, at least do that, right? You can also do that because that's a weekly SR flip zone as well. Okay, what are you drinking, Gabby? Green tea. Green tea with whiskey. No, I'm kidding. Just green tea. All right. Look at that. Already not looking that great. Already rejecting. What are we now currently in? This is still UK, right? We're still trading in UK. Oh, I had to remove my other trading indicators because I was setting up these indicators. But anyway, yeah, that's UK right now. This is UK. You had Asia, not very attractive, very tight range. This is what the model is going to teach you, right? Range model, structured course, 40% off. You guys know the deal. But this is what the model is going to teach you. When you have a tight range on Asia, London expands. London expands. London expands, right? Who said that you're not trading past 7? I am trading. Who told you I'm not? Who said that? I didn't say that. You know what we're doing? We're potentially closing this CME gap. CME gap close at the moment. No, I did not say that. What I was saying about 8th of December, not 7th, is that's where December starts for me. December starts on the 8th of December. It doesn't start before that. Before that, I'm treating this price action as part of the November price action. Does that make sense? Is it bad? Chicken boards 8969. Is it bad? We gotta slab whiskey this early. Yeah, that's definitely not great. Yeah. For reals. When we check XRP, you guys, I want to remind you the levels that we had for XRP. What did we say? Our 0.5 level. This is what we're looking to get another retest on at 1.97. Again, a very big wick on the level. I don't particularly favor the fact that we had to drop with a wick down so low. So I am, you know, it's my duty to warn you if you don't have the indicators of the next level. Let's try and make it a little bit more precise here. At 1.7787 for XRP, right? For XRP. So even if we, let's delete this bearish distribution. Even if we come up, right, retest 2.18, 2.2, they might send it down either to retest the 0.5, right? So any longs, because we were looking at longing at 1.97, any longs over here, right? They might retest, they might come back, retest the entry point, or they might send it down to 1.77. Keep that in mind. Can we look at virtuals? Can we look at what about gold, USD? Yeah, we're gonna look at gold in a second. I'm fine with gold. I had very good trades on gold. I exited, I think, my short. What else I wanted to show you? Hold on. BNB. Yeah, we're gonna look at these. We're gonna look at these, you guys, no problem. But that's the point, right? This was the first level, next level 1.77, right? Let's look at BNB. BNB is right at level, right? Touched level to the T. Let's see, this is another level we have on BNB here. So just in case, keep that in mind. We have to keep all the levels that we have in mind, right? Level by level, level by level. So, you know, as you can see, this was all a free fall, right? This is all our levels, our trading levels. This is the daily support with the indicators. That's literally the first level, right? These are other levels. These are not with the indicators, but this is or lower time frame, but this is daily. I want you to observe the precision of this bounce for BNB. Look at that. 792, right? So if you're here, if you've put an order with the help of the indicators that I gave you guys for free right now, you can literally see the level, and you'll be like, okay, I also need to keep in mind that there is this level 732, right? So yeah, you can construct a trading plan here, potentially. But of course, right, you have to understand that a lot of work needs to be done before anything happens. On a daily time frame, trading above $940 mandatory with a daily close, right? Mandatory. Weekly, it looks like, you know, even if they do a little SFP here, you know, I don't know, maybe you can get an all-time high, maybe you can reject at 1,100 and send it lower. These are all scenarios. These are all trade opportunities. Okay. Told you it was over. KTT Vids told you it was over for crypto, blah, blah, blah. We closed 2 times below the 50. Yeah, I know. I'm aware of the 50 EMA, right? I don't trade them, but I'm aware of them. I'm aware that it hasn't happened for a while. What else? HBAR was doing quite well. HBAR also at levels, right? Remember HBAR? 0.236 range model theory. Let's go. Retest of the 0.236, 0.126 for HBAR. That's the price level. Trading above daily support. Let's see if that's going to hold. If it doesn't, mandatory to understand that we have the following level, 0.09889. Important. Okay. Daily bearishly rejecting right now. This is a bearish rejection. I don't like this. So this could be just another rotation point. Yeah, it spiked a little bit higher, but there is no body close here on the daily. So it's not to be trusted at the moment. That's not a close. Like if the daily closed at like 0.155, then I'd be like, okay, that's bullish, but it's not at the moment. Okay. Check boards. What's your play for today? My play for today is nothing. I don't trade on Monday. What did I promise to Zcash? Okay. Yeah, I mean, you know, technically it's still bullish, right? Even though you're ranging right now, this to me has no reason to not continue up unless, you know, unless you start closing at very ridiculous levels. That's on a daily even. So I really have nothing to say. It's still bullish in my opinion, even though, right? Okay, 12-hour time frame. Yeah, maybe potential fears at around 422. And, you know, even if you get to that levels, you're kind of fine, right? So then you'll be like literally positioning yourself at a lower side of a range to essentially continue higher. That's the idea with Zcash at the moment, because it's been bullish. So I think it's going to continue to be, right? We've taken some liquidities, 4-hour support down here at 469, and then another one at 489. So we've retested both nicely. We've moved through an SR flip zone with a nice bullish candle. And now we've tried to retest the level and we pretty much lost the level. So then you could potentially look at this to hold. So anywhere between 500 and 525 would be a good area for a re-long. I think if that happens, if that doesn't happen, then you're potentially looking to get lower, right? But this is pretty much it, right? If it comes here, should reject. And if it doesn't, we are just like heading straight down to hell. You are welcome. Very conservative. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we saw BNB. Let's look at gold. So this was my short. I cut it short here because I had a suspicion, because usually I was aiming for this low, but I had a suspicion that's not going to be the case. So I actually cut it here somewhere for a 1 to 5 here on gold. And as you can see, this is a 4-hour level. that we're currently retesting, and price is trying to bounce. It could continue lower. I know that there is liquidity on gold, so eventually we're gonna grab that low. But for now, we have to play by the rules, right? And the rules are that this was a long, okay, this was a long over here. This was a long. This was a short. This was a long, which I caught that long as well. This was the short area that I didn't get tagged in, unfortunately, so I missed that short here. You can't catch them all, you know, whatever. But I caught the mini short here, which is also fine for me. I don't mind that. From now on gold, yeah, honestly, I think right now gold is pretty much a long at the moment. And yeah, you're looking for that long to fail potentially to catch a short. Where is that short going to be? I'm not entirely sure at the moment, because this was the short up here. So if it's like a bearish distribution, yeah, you could potentially catch a short above this high somewhere, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure. For the moment, I'd like to short gold at extremes. So if it comes and takes one of these highs here, then maybe potentially I would short. But until then, yeah, maybe you have a short above this highs, but is it really, you know, is it really worth it? You might get stopped, you know, on a retrace back here once again, or you might get lucky and take the liquidity. But yeah, this was a short down here. So let's say, you know, I trade like that. If I've missed an entry, I'm just imagining I'm still in that entry, and what would I do, right? So there was a short over here which I took. From here on, I'm not sure. We might be ranging. So in my head, I'm short gold from here to here right now, and I'm already in. But yeah, so it's gonna take a little bit of time, I think. You're welcome. You're welcome. Same thing for silver. Really very perfect long level actually over here. You know, perfect long level. Lots of stacked liquidity here. So yeah, if you continuously come up here, you're potentially, you know, reverse trending at the moment. So silver is also interesting. Thank you for your analysis. You're welcome. You're welcome. Is there anything else I wanted to look at today? So are we clear on Bitcoin? We need to wait and see how Monday develops and take it on from there, you guys. Make sure to like this video if you haven't. 39 people. We need 40 likes at least. And I think that's it. Make sure to check all of the offers that I have for you guys in the description box. Don't forget to do that, because they won't be here forever. So make sure to do that. And I shall see you guys tomorrow, right? We're going to be back here tomorrow for the following trading day. So hope you guys have a good one.